Ms. Maxwell, were you a close friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein?
I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Were you aware that Mr. Epstein was sexually abusing minors and adult women?
I would like to answer your question. I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
You, at any time, played any role in Jeffrey Epstein's activities involving the recruitment, grooming, or trafficking of young women or girls?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Have you ever facilitated the sexual abuse of any minor or adult woman by Mr. Epstein?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Have you ever participated in the sexual abuse of any minor or adult woman?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
You solemnly declare and affirm under the penalty of...
She is a monster. She does not care. She has no remorse. She doesn't care. And frankly, it seems like this administration overall does not care. And the United States government is engaged in an active cover-up of the largest sex trafficking scandal and influence peddling scandal in the history of the United States, and Donald Trump is right at the center of it.
Have you ever facilitated the sexual abuse of any minor?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Chairman Comer. The American public truly want to hear the unfiltered truth about what happened. There is a straightforward path. Ms. Maxwell is prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency by President Trump. Only she can provide a complete account. For example, both President Trump and President Clinton are innocent of any wrongdoing. Ms. Maxwell alone can explain why, and the public is entitled to hear that explanation.
Post that you took down earlier today.
The people covered, if you look at where it came from. I spent time on Jeffrey Epstein's island. I didn't. I have nothing to do with that. I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. And in fact, if you look at the DOJ, they had at least 3 million pages, but nothing on me.
Definitely not by the box office.
Howard Lutnick clearly went to the island, if we believe what's in these files. He was in business with Jeffrey Epstein, and this was many years after Jeffrey Epstein was convicted. So he's got a lot to answer for, but really he should make life easier on the president, frankly, and just resign.
Elon Musk was also in there, and so was your Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, and correspondence that he had with him.
You mentioned 2 names. I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're fine. Otherwise it would have been major headlines.
They charge us, we charge them. It's very simple. Whatever, it's global business. It's the first time you put in that chair. Excellent down payment as a structure. I think we need to get it right.
So we move in 2005. Jeffrey Epstein is arrested in like 2008. And in the 6 or 8 steps it takes to get from his house to my house, my wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again. So I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or even philanthropy. That guy was there, I wasn't going, because he's gross.
And it's called the I Love the Ocean Pledge. It's relatively easy sector is to create a...
Do you solemnly declare and affirm under the penalty of perjury?
transmit to the President of the United States, which is that her silence can be bought through clemency. It is very clear that that is the message that she is trying to send directly to Donald Trump. She is not being released from jail unless, of course, Donald Trump buys what she's selling.
And President Trump could end that today. He could rule out a pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell, the monster. Why hasn't he done that?
Names of at least 6 men that have been redacted that are likely incriminated by their inclusion in these files.
Some of them with their photographs that have been redacted, and there's no explanation why those people were redacted.
These men U.S. citizens?
At least one is a U.S. citizen.
Which field do they work in? Is it finance, banking, political?
One is pretty high up in the foreign government.
But there are very powerful people who raped these underage girls. It wasn't just Epstein and Maxwell.
Epstein's lawyers synopsized and quoted Trump as saying that Jeffrey Epstein was not a member of his club at Mar-a-Lago, but he was a guest at Mar-a-Lago, and he had never been asked to leave. And that was redacted for some indeterminate, inscrutable reason.
A lot of women who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally blacked out. Do you think that they should be more transparent? Do you think that they should be more transparent?
The fact that they thought they released too much. I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else.
But what would you say to people who feel that they haven't gotten justice, Mr. President?
Something that people care about. Yeah, what did you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to the survivors who feel that they haven't gotten justice?
You are the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you.